Hey, Tom Rabbit! I hope you got this for your recording. Hey, YouTube out there. Tom Rabbit likes to record these. Hey, Tom Rabbit!
Once I brought it to the conversation, for you to describe what my feelings are on the conversation.
Okay. See, this is what they do. Bicker. Now, I'm glad to see that we have Leophilius here. Okay? Leophilius, can you tell me why God doesn't exist?
Hey, Darth, before you start, do you have like a YouTube channel or something?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
Leophilius, can you tell me why there is no God?
Yeah, there's a few reasons why. I'd say probably one of the strongest. I'd say one of the strongest ones is probably going to be the argument from evil.
Leophilius. Who's talking?
Me.
Was that
Leophilius,
okay.
the person you asked to talk?
You have a different microphone. Yeah, well, that doesn't work. Okay, can you put the people back up on the screen, please?
Why not?
I'm going to get to it momentarily. Okay. When you say the problem of evil, can you please explain to me in one or two sentences what you mean by evil?
Yeah, I take evil just to be that which one ought not do, or that which ought not be permitted.
Okay. Okay. So what you're saying is God cannot exist because the world that he has created and permit to unfold is inconsistent with your oughts?
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what the argument from evil says.
Okay. So how is the existence of an eternal mind incompatible with any state of affairs?
I guess I don't know what it is that you're asking.
You said that the existence of God is incompatible with certain states of affairs, which you have classified as evil, right?
No, so not particularly. The argument is saying something more that if evil is just that which ought not to occur, and God is defined such that he only ever does that which he ought to do,
you're too intelligent for this.
Either A, any world which he creates is just the world which he ought to create.
Listen to me.
Or B, you have to sacrifice one of God's great properties.
Leo, invoking an ought, are you getting an ought from an is?
I don't know what that has to do with the discussion.
Okay, where do the oughts derive from that you're?
I don't know what that has to do with the discussion. The discussion isn't about what the oughts are. The discussion is about God's rationality.
Leo, are we going to do this again where you're argumentative and you're evasive?
What am I evading? Can you tell me what it is that I'm evading?
You told me God does not exist because there are certain states of affairs that ought not be.
That's not what I said, no.
Okay, so are you saying there's a logical contradiction between certain states of affairs that you say are evil and that it's incompatible with the existence of an eternal mind?
I'm not certain what you're asking.
Yeah. So this is the little game that they play when you start.
Why don't you just further explain your
shut
position?
The fuck up while I'm talking.
Yeah, so you're not interested in a discussion.
Shut the fuck up while I'm talking.
You're not interested in trying to understand the other person. You're interested in just bloviating the whole time, which is why you just won't advocate your position because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
If you don't stop him, I'm going to ask you to
remove him. You're just a clown. You have no fucking clue what you're talking about.
Praise. Please don't. I don't want to have to get agitated with you, Praise. Please moderate, okay? Because this is the little game that they play. They make certain statements.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
Praise, are you going to step in or not?
What's your objection?
Praise, can you please respond to me that you're going to moderate?
I can give it to you in syllogistic form if you want. You can tell me where you object.
Leo, listen.
I'm willing to have a discussion.
No, you're not.
You are.
Okay, Olive, are you a moderator?
I just told you.
Okay, I'm here. Praise had to step
away. Would you please cut him off from over talking me?
Okay.
And he can tell me where he objects.
Leo.
So why don't you
I have had it? Leo, hey, Leo,
carry the discussion forward.
Leo, listen to me. I expect out of you is an adult back and forth with me, not bickering.
That's what I'm trying to do. Are you ready for that or not?
Leo, when we talk about God, all right, as an eternal mind, definitionally, God would be defined as the ground of all being and all possibility. So if there's a certain state of affairs,
this doesn't bear on the argument.
Okay, listen to me. You see, Olive, I'm going to ask you again.
Yeah, no, you just don't understand the argument.
Would you please Olive, remove him from the stage if he persists in this.
Okay, I removed him, so I'll let you finish.
Okay. Yeah. And if he does it again, remove him permanently. Okay. Because this is one of the tactics that he deploys. It's called being argumentative. Okay. Now,
Okay.
now let me explain something about Leophilius. I've encountered him before several times, and he resorts to bickering mode. Now,
Mhm.
he previously stated that the only reason why God doesn't exist,
Yeah, you're
okay,
just a coward.
was
You
because
don't.
How did he get
okay,
back?
okay,
I didn't add him
please,
back.
okay, would you do me a favor? Okay, please don't bring him back at all. Okay, this
Okay.
is a young man who thinks he's highly intelligent, but he's really not. Okay, he's full of himself, and he just deploys pseudo intellectual argumentativeness. Right?
A few moments later.
What
Okay?
happened? Like there was like we had like a one-on-one going on. What happened?
No,
What
Leophilius
happened was
decided
he
to
wasn't
go
engaging
into
with the argument, and
bickering
he's
mode.
still not
Please,
engaging with the argument. In
okay, I'm
fact, he
answering.
deflected
Would
what
you not
occurred
ever
in the
talk me,
discussion
please?
we
I'm
had
answering. Praise I
several
am. Would you
months
not stop?
ago because he couldn't
Okay,
respond to the
okay,
argument I
Olive,
laid out
would you please
now.
remove him?
And
Would you
what I
please remove
predict
him?
is that I could give him the
Would you
argument until
please remove
Yeah,
him?
hold on.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm
this is
back.
what Leophilius does. He goes into hyper machine gun mouth argumentative mode. This is what he does. And when certain points are brought up that are defeaters to his position, he simply doesn't care. He's shameless. He ignores the defeaters that are present and he just rattles on. This is a tactic that many atheists do, okay? Especially when they're dealing with me. When I bring defeaters to their points, they simply ignore it and they prattle on, okay? Please do not bring him back on stage, okay?
So
Well,
you
I
want to
mean,
talk?
I like to hear what he has to
Can,
say, what his response is, but
No, but do you
are you
understand
are
that
you to
when I
talk?
try a back and forth, hold on a second. When I have
Oh
attempted
man.
on other occasions to have an adult back and forth with him, okay, and even now, he devolves into bickering mode, okay? He simply ignores things. Now, listen carefully what he says. He says, God does not exist because there are certain states of affairs that ought not to be. I mean, it doesn't get any dumber than that, okay? This is the kind of reasoning that children have, okay?
let me see what he says.
Listen, God as an eternal mind, okay? If we conceptualize God as an eternal
You're
mind,
such a coward,
God
Darth.
himself would not be
Why are you such a
subject to
coward?
any.
Why won't you just
Okay,
tell me what
listen
your
to me.
objection to the argument
Okay,
is?
Olive. Okay,
Do you even
every
know what
time
the
he comes
argument
in
is?
here, he becomes belligerent.
Yeah,
He's
because
over
I'm trying to
talking.
get you back to
Okay,
the subject, but all you want to
okay.
do is
Praise
bitch
I
and
am.
complain
If you
about
don't
people instead
remove
of
him, then
responding
I'm
to
just
the
gonna,
subject. You're such a
I'm gonna
fucking coward.
leave.
God!
Okay.
There,
See,
I'd
this is
like
what
for
we're
him to
doing.
respond though, Darth. This is to see where the conversation's going. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, the point is this: you were out. Okay. When I posted a question to him, okay, he just ignored my defeater, and he just prattles on. This is what he does every time. Right? He's a precocious young man who thinks that he's a lot smarter than he is. Now, there is no problem of evil. Okay. When he said, I'm going to make it clear, and I'm going to steelman his position. He says the problem of evil is a defeater for the existence of God because there are certain states of affairs that ought not to be if God existed. And since they exist, therefore God doesn't exist because he's incompatible with ought states. All right. This is pathetic reasoning. I mean, this
Yeah.
couldn't be any worse. Okay, the fact of the matter is, when we're talking about God as the concrete universal, God as the absolute, okay, if they say there ought not to be certain states, well, where did that ought come from? Did it come from his mind? Okay, this
Well, let's
is
see what I mean. Hear what he has to say. Wait, there we go. So let him respond, then
all
you
right,
can
all right.
respond, Darth. I like to
When you
respond
bring
too.
him back, listen to me. If and when you bring him back, okay, please, if he resorts to bickering and being
Yeah.
belligerent and argumentative, please permanently remove him from the
Yeah.
stage.
Here you go, Leo. I'd like
He
for you to
says
respond
he
to that.
says he defeated my argument and that he steel-manned my argument, but he didn't actually steel-man my argument. He just repeated the same thing I've thrice already said isn't my argument. You see, he couldn't tell me what the logical argument from evil is. And the funny thing is, I've offered already 4 times to give the argument in syllogistic form, and Darth can just tell me where he disagrees. But every time I offer to do that, instead of him engaging with me, he bitches and complains about my character, and then when I call him out on that, he bitches at praise to remove me because he's a coward. So what I would like to know, is, does he want me to give the argument in syllogistic form, and is he actually interested in the mature discussions he claims he is, or does he just want to bitch and prevaricate about my character the whole time?
Okay, well, first of all, that's a misuse of the term prevaricate.
Answer the question, Darth. Do you want the
okay.
argument or not? You
I'll
said
be
you
glad
wanted
to
to
respond
engage.
to that.
You
Okay.
said you wanted
If
to
you
engage.
persist in being
Praise,
belligerent
really?
while I'm
You're gonna let
talking,
him
you're
go
going to get
on
removed.
doing the
Okay.
same thing he accused
Okay,
me of.
you spoke.
Are we going to talk
speaking
about the
now.
argument or
Okay,
not?
Praise, would you please remove him?
Exactly, fucking coward.
Would you please remove him?
Hold on,
because
Leo,
you don't want the argument.
Praise, listen to me. He has demonstrated that every time when he's on the stage with me, he cannot conduct himself civilly. So I don't understand why somebody keeps on bringing him back. Okay? Now, listen very carefully. If somebody says the problem of evil demonstrate that God doesn't exist, it doesn't matter how cleverly sounding their syllogisms is. Okay? I'm going to break it down very simply. What they're saying is that there are certain states of affairs that they have determined are unacceptable, vile, or distasteful and ought not to be, and therefore they are ontologically incompatible with an eternal mind.
Can I'm going to actually respond to him, Darth. So let me. I have my own refutation on it. If you want to bounce off of that, you're welcome.
I don't. You know what I don't understand? I don't understand why you have people like this. You know,
I don't understand why you won't engage with the argument.
Okay, would you please remove him? Okay, I don't understand why these people who behave very badly. Okay, hold on a second. I don't understand why you tolerate this persistent bad behavior of other people when I'm attempting to dialogue with them. Praise. I don't understand this. Why do you allow their chronic bad behavior?
Because we're called to be merciful to the unbelieving.
Okay, but that's not being merciful. Okay. Now the point is this: Leophilius, how is any state of affairs that you deem ought not to be incompatible with an eternal mind?
Do you want me to give you the argument?
No, I want you to focus on my question. I don't want you to listen to me carefully.
Your question doesn't relate to the argument you asked me about.
Yeah, hold on.
I'm having a conversation
on the argument you asked me about. Do you want the argument?
This is one of the reasons.
See, he won't engage.
He won't engage. Your room.
He's a coward.
Okay, it's because you have people like this.
I just want everybody to know he's a coward. He won't engage the argument.
Again, this is about the 7th time he's been obnoxious and belligerent. Okay, now I'm going to break it down very simple. We can define God as that which is an eternal mind and is the source and basis of why anything at all exists that is not himself. Okay. Now,
all right. So I'm going to actually respond to him. I have my own refutation. Then you can, if you
go ahead, Praise. You're actually interested in trying to understand my position.
Okay. So my response is something called
Praise. If you're going to tolerate,
he's interrupting you. He's interrupting you.
You're going to tolerate this. You're going to
why are we tolerating you? You asked me what my argument against God's existence is, and then you're the one refusing to engage like a coward.
I don't want to leave. You're just tolerating this chronic bad behavior.
But
why do you put up with
Stop. I'll just let him go.
Just ask yourself
why do you allow this persistent bad behavior in your stream? Praise.
Well, again, like we usually end up stopping it anyway. Like we're fine right now.
No, you don't. How many times has he been behaving badly since he's been here?
He hasn't been around here, so this is my first.
Leo.
And why isn't Praise allowed to?
I just want to engage with him.
All right,
on his own channel.
Listen, I'm gonna say one more thing, Praise. Okay, I'm not gonna participate. Okay. This little Dunning-Kruger graduate here does not have
the guy who won't engage the argument.
Here he goes again. When I'm saying that I'm leaving, And what I'm more disappointed in, Praise, is you and whoever is moderating that you don't put a stop to this bad behavior.
I put him in the background like 10
Okay.
times.
No. You keep on bringing him back. And why don't you?
I'm gonna respond.
Why don't you
response.
listen, Praise? Why don't you grow a pair of balls and
Why
tell
don't you,
him?
Darth?
Darth.
Unbelievable. And I removed Darth. I'm so sick and tired of it.
Oh,
It's
no.
your channel, Praise, for crying out loud.
I know, but I know
But-
I'm trying to work on
I'm
both
sorry,
sides.
Praise.
No, I
That's
love
Praise.
Darth.
He's a
Praise,
I'm sorry.
praise,
That was
brother.
hella rude.
Praise,
dig
brother.
this for a second. I asked
that guy
him
was dropping
5 times.
that guy
Five
was
times to
dropping
engage the argument, and he
that guy
wouldn't
was
do
dropping
it.
F-bombs. That guy Darth was dropping F-bombs, and he was dropping F-bombs, and that I should have put in the, if it were me, I would have put in the back, because at the end of the day, if he's talking about God, but he's got no fear of God, cussing here, cussing there, and everything, the Bible talks specifically all over the scriptures in the New Testament. If anyone's using such speech and has such a heart like that, they should not be preaching, and he should not be preaching. I'm sorry, anyone who's talking with an F-bomb and all that, they're the ones that should be put in the back. And he was dictating you. He was dictating all of you, and it's not right, man.
No, right.
Right.
That,
I don't like
that was completely uncalled for.
Leo was censored there.
I would
You were
just like
doing
to
the right
note.
thing. You were
But
doing
does
the right thing,
anybody tell
Praise.
Darth what to do? Does anybody tell him what to do? No.
He doesn't
So
know how to
why
handle it, so he
should
just gets mad.
Yeah, so he has no right to tell you, Praise, what to do on your own channel here. Like, you're wanting to respond, and he's like,
You
no.
can't even respond to your own,
Unbelievable.
that
Okay,
is.
so I'm going to
I'd
stop, and I'm going to
I'd
let
like
Praise
to point
talk.
something out, if I
Yes,
may.
go ahead, Praise.
Can I point something out quickly? Because, and I'm not making any statements about the rest of you. It is what it is. He tried to make room for Darth and everything, and he still couldn't handle it. But beside the point, notice how he asked me what my argument against the existence of God was, and I gave it. And then he tried to steel man it, and he got it wrong. I told him, I'm sorry, but that's not the argument I'm presenting. And I asked him a total of 5 or 6 times if he wanted me to just give the argument in syllogistic form, and then he could just tell me where it is he agrees, which would move the discussion forward in a productive manner. And notice how every single time I asked him that, he moved away from it and deflected to a discussion we had several months ago, or bitching about my character or the way I'm engaging, all because I was holding his feet to the fire and refused to let him run away from the fact that he's a coward and that he was refusing to engage the argument.
I tried to accommodate both.
Yes, you did, Praise. You did both. You did good. You did both. You tried, and it didn't work. And if this goes back with Leo and Darth, it sounds like this goes back to
and Darth
previous.
can talk to me and not you, Praise, because that was all me. So he can talk to me. That's all I got to say.
We're Christians here, and it just doesn't work that way, And this is your channel, Praise. And I mean, you did the best thing you could do. You let everyone talk, and then it just went to a total shit show.
Further explain your
Shut
position.
the fuck up while I'm talking.
Yeah, so you're not interested in a discussion.
Shut the fuck up while I'm talking.
You're not interested in trying to understand the other